20 offensive rebounds surrendered to Davidson, and for Oklahoma, gotta limit those turnovers. They had 32 turnovers in the tournament so far. Can't do that against an athletic team like Clemson.
That's the Fonz focus that we'll be following throughout this contest. Here's Doolittle. He had that game-tying three against Northern Iowa to ultimately send it to overtime. Misses on his first shot, and Dante Grantham comes away with the rebound for Clemson.
I think both teams on misses and turnovers need to get out and push the basketball, looking for early opportunities. Both of them excellent in the half court.
Grantham, the lob to no one in particular. And the first turnover of the game for Clemson.
Yes.
Here's Jordan Woodard.
And folks, you're going to see a lot of ball screens on both sides of the floor tonight.
Here's James. First shot for him is good.
I don't think Oklahoma looks for him enough on the offensive end. He's been plagued with foul trouble to start the year, but it's important for Christian James to get off to a good start. That's a great start for Oklahoma.
He's now 6 for 10 from three-point range of the season, Fonz.
Like to see more of it.
Avery Holmes off the mark. 0 for 2 in the early going for Clemson.
If Clemson continues to settle for perimeter jump shots, that plays in Oklahoma's favor. They have to throw that basketball down inside to Jete, number 50 in orange, to bring some balance to their offensive attack.
James tried to split the Clemson defense. And Brian, he's taken 3 different schools to the tournament, including Clemson in his first year. 4 players averaging 14 or more, 6 players in double figures so far through their first 3 games of the season.
The challenge for them with all of this offensive firepower is to not to let the rope go on the defensive end, because Brad Brownell's teams have been usually in the top 25 in the country in terms of efficiency.
Jaron Blossingame.
Gigantuan numbers he put up last year, but a big-time cog for this Clemson offense. And Rich, what you saw in that last possession is the importance of putting the basketball on the hand so the shooter can go right into the shot.
Here's Kadeem Latin working on Jete. Improved offensive game for Kadeem Latin, but he's off the mark on that Wildcats, and it was in bad form, 95-51, but that spoiled what was an otherwise magical season in Norman for Lon Kruger and the boys. In the first 5 years of the Lon Kruger era at Oklahoma, they've increased their win total every season.
Got to the NCAA tournament in only his second year.
There's same can be said for number 50 in orange.
Yeah, he's the team's most improved player voted by his coaching staff last year. Inside, outside guy now, and an excellent passer.
They go back to Latin. Inside out. James. Close range, no.
Weak side, he's got that 15-foot J and hook shots in the interior as well. Another turnover for Clemson. I've seen couple miscues here for Clemson offensively.
Number 2, Marquise Reed is in, covering Jordan Woodard for Clemson. And he's some instant offense off the bench for Brownell.
Yes.
Here's Darian Strong-Moore, who's
communication with Marquise Reed, number 2 in orange, allowed him to get that wide open look.
6 points on 2 3-pointers for the Sooners. Here's Blossingame. Too strong. He struggled so far in the early part of the season.
He really has. Gabe DuVoe hasn't. He's been shooting 39% in this tournament from 3. And Rich, we talked earlier about, with these 2 teams being as good in their half-court defense, the importance to get out and get early opportunities in transition. Well done right there by Oklahoma.
Latin clears. Fast-paced game to start. What we expected here in the 3rd place game. Both these teams won their opening round quarterfinal matchups, lost tough ones in the semifinals. Here's Reed, blocked by Latin, and that's still his specialty despite improved offense.
So quick off the floor.
Woodard spins into the defense, but he still gets it to Jordan Woodard, making his 109th consecutive start at Oklahoma.
Rich, the early push has been really good for Oklahoma. I'd like to see them continue to push the pace.
Mouse before, but it hasn't been on the most positive of terms. This is why we love coming down here, right?
Do you have larger ears?
The most magical place on earth.
Indeed.
Clemson Tigers looking for a little magic against the Sooners. Here's a deep three, and Gabe DeVoe's off the mark.
Clemson can't win this basketball game just shooting perimeter jump shots. They got to get that basketball in the post to Blossom game, or they have to get to the rim off the bounce. Too many jump shots here early for Clemson.
Try to work it inside. Good catch by Chate, and he has an early 4 points.
I love when Clemson is playing inside out. Now, Clemson's coach is trying to throw different things at Oklahoma to keep that high-octane offense at bay.
Defense is certainly something that Brownell has hung his hat on in his 7 years at Clemson. And with a foul underneath.
Well from the perimeter to this point. They just got it inside to Sidi Jate, as we've been talking about, bringing some balance. Go right back to him on the inside or throw it down to Blossom game. He's got a mismatch.
Blossom game. No good. He's 0 for 2 in the early going.
He's got to take his time and rise over a shorter player there in Darian Strong-Moore.
McGusty, aggressive. You got to like that out of a youngster, the freshman out of Katy, Texas.
ESPN number 46 in 2016 out of Sunrise Academy in Kansas. He can do a lot of that so quick off the bounce.
DeVoe, swatted away by McNeese, who's about as bouncy a player as you're going to find in the country.
He can get off the floor in a hurry.
Tay clears. We talked about Jerron Blossom game's struggle. He's still averaging over 14 a game, but last year was 3rd in the ACC in scoring. What's the difference so far in the early part of the season?
Against so many more.
He had 16 20-point games and 5 straight games where he had 20 or more. That was the first.
Used to having the ball in your hands a lot. It gives you a lot more opportunity to have a rhythm on the offensive end, and he doesn't know when he's going to get his touches with all the offensive. So I think that's thrown off his rhythm a little bit.
And now you add to the fact what we talked about at the top of the telecast, things straight, and we're back underway with 13-14 to go in the first half. Oklahoma nursing a 4-point lead in the early going. Doolittle.
He's got to go here.
Yeah, he should do work. Left to Tay, clears.
Sidi Jate coming over in the area, caused him to change that shot.
Blossom game, 0 for the field so far.
I like when Oklahoma's playing fast.
Nice take, nothing to show for it. Loose ball, Doolittle, active. Uh-oh.
Just got hung up there.
Because of foul trouble in this tournament.
Yeah, and they need it. They need a little bit more depth across the front line, and he provides it.
Here's Reed, open.
That's a really tough shot that he's actually capable of making. Gave a little jab fake and forced the defender to drop his hands, give him some airspace to get that off.
Good hands by Reed at the top of the defense. Holmes had Blossom game alone and missed him.
Yeah, when Jerron Blossom game number 5 in orange is in the post, they got to throw the basketball in.
Another 3 attempt by Reed off the mark. He is not shy.
Yeah, they got to change sides of the floor. That basketball stayed on the right side of the floor the entire time for Clemson. When you're playing against a good defensive team, it's so important that you reverse the floor, and they'll get better opportunities on the left side.
Jordan Woodard set to come in on the next whistle, as is Dante Grantham for Clemson. And CJ Cole comes up empty at the other end.
After a hot start for Oklahoma, all of a sudden they've gone cold. Getting some good looks, just not knocking them down. We've seen them miss some open J's. Had an opportunity to get an offensive rebound put back that rolled off the rim. Missed opportunities here early for Oklahoma.
There's Blossom game. Nice drive. Both of these teams can score in bunches. You mentioned defensive efficiency for this Clemson team over the last few years. We see Blossom game miss the 3-point play. offensively right now, according to KenPom, they're number 18 offensively in the nation.
They've been very efficient on the offensive end. Again, another reason why Blossomgame has not been able to really get off on the offensive end. Wow, what a nice skip pass. As many of the touches that he's accustomed to.
By the way, partner, just to put a bow on that last segment, it could have been a lot worse. They could have called us Potsy and Ralph Mouth. Right?
That is very true.
Here's Jeté.
He traveled there.
Shuffled it.
Going to throw it inside. They need production from whoever it is that catches it on the box.
Another empty possession for the Sooners.
Another turnover for Oklahoma.
Here's Reed. He's got a nice lift on that jump shot. Matt Freeman, the freshman from New Zealand, comes away with it for Oklahoma. It's Woodard, Latin, and 3 reserves on the floor for Lon Kruger. Still haven't seen Dante Buford yet, number 21 for the Sooners.
Gonna watch number 5 in White in pick and pop situations because he'll get a little small on him. They should throw it inside.
With 9 on the shot clock. Looked good off his hand, but Jordan Woodard was long on the 3 ball.
Clemson needs to play inside out.
Picked off. Bad pass by Jeté. Woodard leaves it off. And Cameron McGusty coming off the bench. 6 points for number 20, Cameron McGusty, a 6'5" freshman out of Katy.
Again, Rich, we said earlier how important it is for Oklahoma to play fast. They're so much better when they're playing in transition.
And another turnover by Clemson. They got it back, and they can't finish close to the rim. Up ahead, here's McGusty. Again! And one! Buddy Hield spent time, and that's where Cameron McGusty spent time before coming to play for Lon Kruger.
As an EA 46 in the nation his senior year in 2016, he's the highest recruit Lon Kruger has ever had.
That's saying something. 9 points for McGusty, and it's a 7-0 Oklahoma run to give them the 19-13 lead. Shot off the mark again. Nice follow.
As even when he's not getting touches on the offensive end, he continues to guard and continues to be aggressive, and that time on the offensive glass.
Nice look.
Just going to make that pass, but he really was wide open underneath the rim. And that's what happens, Rich, on cuts. You run your cut hard all the way to the rim. Oftentimes, you won't open up until right underneath the basket, and that's exactly what happened there, except Jordan Shepherd wasn't ready to receive the rock.
Fonz, it's amazing through, I know it's only 2 games, but Clemson leads this tournament in points, field goal percentage, and assists. Wow. And right now, they're shooting an uncharacteristic 6 for 19 from the field. Make it 6 for 20 now.
Yeah, too many jump shots early, and now we've seen on 2 possessions, missing easy shots from point-blank range. You got to make those inside.
Teams, all due respect, and then they went out to Loyola Marymount and escaped with a 3-point win, but they didn't come out completely unmarred, an injury to one of their star freshman guards.
It's been a while since Kadeem Latin has had a touch on the interior. For Clemson are ending up on some of the bigs of Oklahoma. They got to recognize it a little more quickly so they can capitalize on it.
No backcourt, throwing it from under your own basket. We have counting down to 7 minutes to go in the first half. Oklahoma's led for most of the contest. It's a close one, 19-15. And an errant pass from down and losing that game in overtime.
Indeed, and 38 turnovers on the tournament. But if you're going to turn it over, you'd rather throw it out of bounds than allow Clemson with their athleticism to get out in transition.
Clemson 6 for 21 from the field. What do they have to do differently on offense?
Again, anytime they've driven the basketball to the basket, they've gotten a good look, or when they've thrown it down on the inside, they've been reluctant to do so and has taken a lot of J's.
Kadeem Latin picks the pocket of Gabe DeVoe. And again,
Oklahoma's been able to turn those Clemson turnovers into 8 points here. They'll take better care of the rock. To get something going to the basket, something either in the post, and again, Blossomgame has 6'1" Darian Strong more on him. The inability to recognize the mismatches on the floor has crushed Clemson on the offensive end tonight.
6 for 22 in the first half. Here's Woodard trying to take matters into his own hands, but he comes up empty.
That's good discipline there by Blossomgame.
Nice ball movement by the Clemson offense. Three-pointer, no good.
Rich, another tough contested shot for Clemson. They gotta drive the ball.
If you're a basketball purist, you might appreciate games in the 50s. That's what we might be seeing tonight.
If we can get there. Mismatch inside, if they can find it. Live over the top. Christian Doolittle is open down there.
Woodard tried to leave it for Latin. Clemson got a hand on it. They have numbers, too. Grantham, it's a bucket for the Tigers.
And Rich, where does he get it? Caught the basketball on the block, made a move. Clemson needs more of it. But Oklahoma's got to do a better job of taking care of the basketball on the offensive end. They've given up so many possessions. I counted 4 here in the last 2 minutes.
19-17, Oklahoma with the lead.
The Oklahoma bigs are open on the seal. You have to deliver the rock.
Tom Latin.
Yeah, that's a frustration shot, though. He's been open for about 5 minutes, and I tell you what, I've been in that position. If you don't touch it for a while, the first time you get it, you're going to shoot it, whether it's a tough shot or not. Glad Kadeem Latin was able to knock that one down.
Considering before that they had 5 turnovers in their last 6 possessions, they'll take it. Steps Sidy Djite, and if you're wondering, it's not one of those big men who you could hack with a couple minutes left in a close game and expect him to miss from the free throw line. He's 9 for 16 so far on the season, and Brad Brownell, through all these years of maturation, trusts him in late game situations.
Without a doubt, he's last year, but he's a lot more physical. Came in raw, little unpolished. High post and knock down the 15-foot J, and nice little hook shots inside.
12 points, 8 boards against Davidson, 11.7 boards in their loss to Xavier. He has 6 tonight.
It's a nice skip.
Good ball movement, gets rewarded. Jordan Woodard for 3.
More intentional about getting the basketball inside, and they've been able to get some good looks at the rim. Sidy Djite knocking that one down.
4 straight points for Sidy. There's McGusty. Leaves it down low.
Good Big 12. I think down overall, but the guard play is going to be spectacular. Number 69 has put on about 15 pounds of muscle, versatile driver. He's got the mid-range game. Actually went to the same height. They won a championship together, so we should expect some good chemistry between those 2 guys.
Last time Oklahoma had 2 basketball players on their team that went to the same high school, the Griffin brothers.
Wow.
Blake's doing all right for himself.
I tell you what, Blake's having a really good year. I'm not sure it's the level of MVP of our league, but he's having a spectacular year. He's rebounding well, making good decisions on his passing. I don't think people realize how good of a passer Blake Griffin is.
5 on the shot clock. DeVoe's been off. Oh, that's Avery Holmes. He's been off the mark all night.
Right inside here.
Latin and Djite, a couple of vets. Went off Dante Grantham's face.
Yeah, Latin's got to be more score-minded. Loose. And Clemson's defense knew he was going to pass it. That's how they were able to jump the passing lane. He's got to be aggressive in the post.
Fonz, that's something Lon Kruger needs from Kadeem Latin this year. Darian Strong-Moore. Another 3-pointer. He has 6.
Darian Strong-Moore is really giving them some good minutes tonight. He's been active with his hands on the defensive end and been able to knock down a time which will allow Jordan Woodard to actually play off the ball, which is great because of his ability to knock down the 3-point shot.
You see that right now.
Hey, I feel like Nostradamus here.
I'm going to call you a weatherman. You do so much forecasting. Here's Grantham. Tough move. Djite, the rebound, and he got hammered.
Drive the basketball, Clemson. The more they can throw it inside.
Seeing bigs who can shoot free throws. I love seeing anyone who can shoot free throws, but seeing bigs who can knock them down from the free throw line.
And what it does, Rich, in late game situations, you don't have to play the substitute game. You can keep your best rebounders on the floor because if they get fouled, you have the confidence that they can go through the line and knock them down. What a luxury Brad Brownell has in Sidy Djite.
Clemson shooting under 30% from the field, but they find themselves down just 7 to the Oklahoma Sooners. Deep 3, in and out. Djite He's been the best player on the floor. 2 games here in Orlando. Dante Grantham, case in point, had 21 against Xavier 2 nights ago, and he's only had 2 points against this Oklahoma D.
Yeah, he's not had many opportunities on the offensive end. The Clemson guards have to find him out there on the floor.
Woodard, 2-man game with Latin, and he could do that.
I love that possession. Looked for him on the post, couldn't get him, and then kicked it out. Knocked that shot down. That was beautifully executed there by Oklahoma.
Latin, feeling it! Man out of Houston, Texas.
Tell you what, when your coaches jump all over you for not taking one down in the post, it's amazing how you can play inspired offensively, and that's exactly what's happened here for Kadeem Latin.
You want me to shoot, Coach? Okay, I'll shoot, I'll shoot.
Let it fly, kid.
Here's Holmes.
Right to be aggressive on the offensive end. He's been that way the last
points in his previous 2. They have 11 turnovers right now, Fonz. They've been averaging in a game 9.3. That's one of the best. Goes to Oklahoma's defense. How much is it uneven Clemson offense?
Well, Clemson has thrown some ill-advised passes at times, but you do have to give some credit to this Oklahoma defense. Their length, especially nice move. The guards has been problematic for the smaller guards for Clemson.
DeVoe. Grantham, no. Walled up by Matt Freeman. And it's
tremendous over the last 8 games, which puts them in the position that they're in. Yeah. But I think they have the top 4 right. Ohio State, Alabama, because remember, they're in the class by themselves. Ohio State, Michigan, then Clemson.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Woodard in traffic.
Wow. To allow your defense to be able to go back and have them play against 5 guys versus getting odd numbers in transition.
An 11-2 Sooner run has staked them to a 12-point lead as we start the second half. The winner takes home 3rd place in a tough field at the Tire Pros Invitation.
With withered legs, it's going to be important for Clemson to be able to throw the basketball down inside or get dribble penetration. Another turnover for the Tigers.
Jordan Woodard in the passing lane. Second half, the way he ended the first half with an open layup.
That's now 12 turnovers for Clemson that have led to 17 Oklahoma points. They're going to continue to turn it over at that clip. There's no way they can get back in this game.
Grantham baseline. No. Blossom game can't follow. And we have a foul.
Tigers.
They called it a shooting foul, so Blossom game goes to the line. He had 4 points in the first half, and he's stuck up.
People don't realize that he actually missed 2 full years with leg injury, so to come back at the level that he did is pretty remarkable.
Already graduated. He has a degree in sociology from Clemson, but because of that redshirt status, has this year with the Brad Brownell-led club trying to make his case as an NBA player.
Christian James got to make that one. That's point blank range.
Blossom game flirted with the NBA, but much to the delight of Brad Brownell and his staff, he decided to come back. Last year at Clemson, 50% from the field, 40 from beyond the arc, and 75% from the stripe. He's the only Clemson player ever to do that. Finally, a jump shot goes down.
Yeah, and they really need Avery Holmes to get going. He's been averaging about 17 points here in this tournament. Quiet in the first half. 0 for 4 in the first half. Got to get him to pick it up here in the second.
James short.
Grantham actually nipped that ball a little bit, which is why we're short.
These are 2 stellar defenses we're seeing. And Cameron McGusty, who had a terrific first half offensively, checks in for him. Number 20 in white had 9 points in the first half.
Oftentimes when you make substitutions, you kind of get a little break with guys coming off the bench. Not so for Oklahoma.
Jump shot doesn't work for Grantham, neither does the layup, but he follows his...
Every time they get in the lane, they either get a bucket or they get an offensive rebound. Got to continue to drive the ball.
They double the post, McGusty open, no. Grantham clears and Chate rips it away from him.
Yeah, and I think Clemson's got to push the pace too. They got some guys that can get out in transition and finish.
Was a dozen. They're up 10 now, 37-27.
Wow.
Errant pass, unforced.
often as they've thrown it tonight. So many miscues on the offensive end.
Sometimes a day off is good for teams. Sometimes it accumulates a little rust. Here's McGusty, wide open. Too strong. Grantham uses those long arms to haul down the rebound.
I still think they need to, on misses, get out and play with some pace.
Holmes, wild three, early in the shot clock. Loose ball. And Blossom Game screaming.
But couldn't quite get the timeout called quick enough. And Christian Doolittle, number 11 in white. I think they're a little bit of a handful here. I think Oklahoma can throw the basketball into one of those guys, and they'll have a mismatch with Grantham, number 15 on the interior, who's more of a small forward.
Latin hasn't had a touch yet in the second half. Woodard knocks down his second bucket of the half.
It came off a really nice down screen by Doolittle. Well done. And Orange looks a little hesitant to me tonight. In the 2 games previous, he's been very confident making quick decisions. Got to get him back to playing confident tonight.
Ooh, Grantham went for the highlight dunk and came up short.
That was confident. Need more of that.
Confidence doesn't score you 2 points, though.
Good ball movement by Oklahoma.
McGusty evening.
3 points, Cameron McGusty.
And Rich, we've seen that several times tonight from Oklahoma where they've reversed the ball 2 to 3 times and led to a good look on the weak side of the floor.
Blossom Game. Too strong on the 3 ball. Right place, right time. Jerron Blossom Game bucket.
Paint touches have been really good for Clemson. Off the post, off the bounce.
Woodard, heat check 3, no good. Can't fault either of these teams for trying to push offense. They're taking shots early in the shot clock. Maybe not always the smartest shots.
Yeah, and folks, just so you know, Clemson is a bit underhanded. They've only been playing with 7 guys. They have 2 guys who are injured over on the bench. And again, the starting lineup playing 85% of the minutes. So you can understand if they're a bit fatigued today.
Here's a leak out. McGusty decides to pull it back. Veteran move for the freshman.
He's really made some smart plays tonight for the Sooners.
Oklahoma doing a much better job of valuing the basketball tonight, wouldn't you say, Fonz?
Indeed, up 13, no rush. Nice pass. Penetration of throwing it in the post has been really good. So to climb back in this game down 13 with 14 minutes to go, they got to get back to it.
Shot clock running down. Woodard had to force it up from beyond NBA range. Offensive rebound by Jamani McNeese. It's Woodard and 4 reserves for Lon Kruger on the floor now.
Got to be aware of where number 5 in white is for Oklahoma. Matt Freeman, excellent 3-point shooter.
Off the Marcus Freeman. And Marquise Reed comes away with it. They can use some instant offense from number 2 in orange.
Indeed. Wow, Blossom Game had another mismatch down there that they didn't recognize.
Off the side of the backboard goes Grantham.
And that's what happens sometimes is when you don't take the easy opportunity against a good defensive team, usually ends up in the bad shot. What
Of his own bench gives Jordan Woodard the scoring lead at 14. It's now ballooned to a 16-point advantage for the Sooners. How tired this Clemson team must be playing a limited bench. Now Hudson hopefully provides some relief.
Yeah, hopefully he can give a little spark there. He's got a scorer's mentality, lefty. Nice block there by Matt.
Here's Hudson with the ball. Left-hander. His first shot is off the mark. We're saddled with 3 fouls now, and that's an issue for him so far this season. Only 3 games in, but McNeese has found himself in foul trouble in each one. Loose ball, out of bounds. Team 14th in the ACC in offense a year ago, 3rd in defense. That's usually what you think of when you think of a Tigers team. Not so much this year so far. Offensively, they are much improved and a lot of high expectations out of the Clemson camp for this offense. We haven't seen it tonight.
Credit Oklahoma's defense. They've been really good.
Here's DeVoe. No shot, says Kip. his first.
Blossomgame is open in there. They're not even looking for him, Clemson, inside to Blossomgame. You got to find your best player.
McGusty.
How good has he been tonight? Now 6 of 8 from the floor. He's been terrific.
Some people
has been fantastic tonight for Oklahoma.
Earning his minutes. 47-29, Oklahoma looking to bounce back from that crushing feat in the semifinals to Northern Iowa. They were up 18 on the Panthers on Friday night and gave it away, 24 total turnovers, and they lost that game in overtime. They have bounced back in a big way tonight. Clemson can't buy a bucket.
They really can't, and that's why they got to get something going to the rim, Rich. The jump shot has failed them time in and time out tonight.
To the tune of 2 of their last 15 field goal attempts.
Matt Freeman's got a little one down there if they can find him. Number 5 in white.
Blossomgame. And he knocks and is settled for the outside shot, but it hasn't been kind to them tonight.
But you know what, Rich? We talked about that before we went to the break. It's you got to find ways to get your best basketball players shot opportunities on the offensive end. There was a jump shot. I'm glad it was Blossomgame.
Latin 2 feet in the paint, and it's a little too strong.
And I go right back to him here, number 5 in orange, whether it be on the post or on the perimeter. Best player on the floor from Clemson, can score it at all 3 levels. They have to be more intentional about getting it to him, especially in their half-court attack.
Bounce pass, Blossomgame met at the rim by
adjustment, drawing that foul from Kadeem Latin. For Clemson to win, and not only with his scoring, he draws so much attention, he'll be able to pass to his teammates for some open looks. Clemson needs to be intentional about getting him the rock.
Blossomgame, the first Tiger to double digits. He now has. Don't count out this Clemson club. Their defense can bring them right back in it. And it forces a turnover.
Ball with Brad Brownell. You always have to be aware of adjustments, especially coming out of free throw situations or coming out of timeouts. Oklahoma not ready there.
Starters on for the Tigers.
Get number 5 the ball.
Here he is on the left side. What a pretty, and he has 13.
And he has that ability, folks. He can put this Clemson team on his back and carry them offensively, but his guards have to be aware to get him the ball in the hot spots. There's lobs available on the back line.
Great ball movement. Dante Buford, who's checked in for the first time this season. And this is his first shot, 21 in white, on the floor for Lon Kruger's club. Let's see if they let him touch the ball again. Here's Holmes. Holmes slices in and
able to score and or get fouled. If they want to win this game, they got to continue to attack off the bounce and making sure that they're getting number 5 a steady dose on the offensive end.
A 10 right back in it. Avery Holmes has 6 points. He's now 32 points shy of 1,000 for his career.
Wow.
10 minutes to go. 3rd place game, Tire Pros invitation.
Yeah, number 10 here in white in Oklahoma. He's got to find a way to take over this game on the offensive end with his playmaking ability.
Latin, shot fake, knocks it.
All reversals have been really good, and the skips for Oklahoma to get to the weak side of the floor, they've been able to generate some really good offense out of it.
Blossomgame, 3, not that time. Chate lost the board.
I thought Chate was fouled.
I think he thought so too.
Got a mismatch inside, throw it into Doolittle.
Doolittle sets the screen instead. Woodard uses it, and it goes over the...
Dribble drive, post-ups, Blossomgame here for Clemson.
Chate. Oh, he took it all the way, but he missed the dunk.
Aggressive with putting the ball on the...
Chate, his 3rd career double-double, 10 points, 12 boards.
Too much dribbling.
Christian James has been quiet this second half.
He has, and they've not gotten him involved in the offense, but I like this one. Which we said a couple of possessions ago that number 10 needs the ball in his hands. He can make a lot happen. His ability to stretch it from three, creative off the bounce.
He's got the green light from Coach Kruger.
He'd have the green light for me too if he's shooting 44% from three.
Here's Blossomgame.
That's a tough
working
matchup.
on James. He's heating up. Number 5 in orange has 15.
And that's smart play, knowing who's got the hot hand and feeding the beast. Jordan Blossomgame, Juwan Blossomgame rather, has been fantastic here in the second half.
Doolittle, wild shot. Jeté, weak side rebound.
The late challenge from Blossomgame made him shoot that one a little too hard.
Field goals, unfortunately for Brad Brownell, that's in stark contrast to the first half where they struggled so mightily. Find themselves down 8, 7.5 to go.
Much more aggressive off the bounce and getting the ball to their best player, number 5, Juwan Blossomgame.
Here's Doolittle.
As well, Oklahoma's been reluctant to get him any touches here in the second half.
Again, they go down low to Doolittle. Cross pass.
Get it to Doolittle because he's really a 3-4. You put a 3 on him, that person's too small. You put a 4 on him, too big. And he's unselfish and willing to make the pass, as you saw there. Ooh. Down.
And I know it might not be the sexiest or most exciting visual on the court, but if Juwan Blossomgame's at the free throw line, Fonz, that means this Clemson offense is doing back to school for a reason. It's not to be a passer.
I agree.
He could dish the rock, but he's got to score 18, 19 a game at this
half coming back when everyone's healthy and they have 9 in the rotation. Number 5 still needs the rock.
17 points for Blossomgame, matches his season high.
Looks like they're in a 1-3-1. The short corners are available on the skip.
Woodard, nice shot fake and gets again, but that would be in poor taste.
Very poor.
Jordan Woodard at the line.
This is G-rated.
16 for 17 this season.
Wow.
Until that miss.
44% from 3, but now has been charged with running the offense while trying to find his shots. I think he's accepted and excelled in that role.
Jeté almost follows with a dunk, but he can't. Second missed dunk of the game for Sidi Jeté.
Jeté's got a little one down there. They should take a shot, and if they miss it, he can get the offensive rebound. A little too late now.
Blossomgame taken over, game high 19.
Which I really do try to not repeat myself, but give him the basketball every time down the floor. He's making great things happen for Clemson.
James from the win. Third of the game for Christian James.
And Rich, we talked about early against that pressure, especially the 1-3-1. The corners are open. That was really good recognition there by Oklahoma.
Blossomgame operating along the baseline. Marquise Reed knocks down the bit.
With all of the new weapons that they have, and if they can keep the same defensive intensity, there is no question that this Clemson team will be back in the NCAA tournament.
13 in white, Jordan Shepard, freshman out of Asheville, North Carolina, controlling the point now for Lon Cougars Club.
Yeah, Christian James has got it going himself. I'd like to see number 3 in white get a few more touches on the offensive end. Woodard and James.
2 on the shot clock. Woodard got it up, couldn't get it to go. And offensive rebounding has been almost non-existent for Oklahoma. Only 4 offensive boards this game. Clemson has 19 on the offensive glass.
Wow. Nice rip and go.
Well, Juwan Blossomgame, we've been to Clemson practices. He operates almost along the baseline in practice. He's shown that he could step out and widen his offensive repertoire, but that's his comfort zone right there.
Yeah, for a right-handed player, that right to left rip is hard for guys, and he does it with ease.
It is just a 5-point game. 2 possessions separate Oklahoma and Clemson.
It's got to be Woodard and James down the stretch here.
Clemson really extending their defense. They got a trap in the corner. 5 on the shot clock.
James is open if they can find him.
Did he get it off?
At the 3-point line.
Blossomgame stationed on the right side of the baseline for this offensive possession. Clemson's battle back, down 12 at the break. And
with Blossom game going now, Rich, Oklahoma's doubling the post. He's doing a great job of moving the rock out and getting it to the weak side. Those opportunities are available in plenty for Clemson. Beautiful execution by the Tigers.
Under 4 minutes to go. James, another tonight.
Rich, we said the last possession that it's got to be Christian James, number 3 in white, and number 10, Jordan Woodard in white, to carry the offense for Oklahoma.
Good look inside. Chete. Out to DeVoe. No good. Another offensive board for Clemson. Here's Reed. No good. And they keep it alive again. Fresh 30. Nice look for Chete. Great play to
early in the year help your strength of schedule and your RPI.
Chance to make it a one-possession ball game.
Thought Blossom game was bumped a little on that shot.
Clemson started this half 2 for 15. Since then, they're 9 for their last 16. Wow.
Christian James, number 3 in white, and this man right here, Jordan Woodard. Every time down the floor. Some nice looks out there because he'll have one of the bigger players from Clemson on him, and he can take him off the bounce or step back and shoot the 3.
Clemson only 4 fouls in this half, so they've got some fouls to give as well. And on point from beyond the arc. 5 3-pointers for Christian James, 15 tonight.
I love how patient he is. Never rushes his shot, though he wasn't getting touches early, never forced anything. Get Blossom game the ball. He's got a guy on his back.
Air ball from Grantham.
I mean, you've got a guy that's been white hot every possession down the floor. He needs to touch the rock in positions. And this guy, number 10, Jordan Woodard. Baseline, then the skip pass.
Nice look. And there's James again. Make it 14 of their last 15 points from Christian James.
Rich, that's beautiful offense against the zone pressure. Oklahoma doing it beautifully there.
Just 3 points so far for Gabe DeVoe. Make it.
Last year, shot wasn't too consistent, but this year, coming to the tournament, shooting 44% from 3. I love guys that work on their game, and he certainly put in a lot of work on that J. Russell Westbrook's my favorite player, by the way.
There you go. And Oklahoma will be in OKC to face Wichita State on December 10th.
That'd be a game. McGusty, Christian Doolittle, Matt Freeman, all those guys, man. Young talent, and they're going to be really good middle part of the season.
Woodard short on the 3. The rebound to Reed. And here's the run out. Grantham off the window. No. He's had a frustrating night.
Yeah, he's got to dunk that one. At 6'8", he's got to dunk that one on the little guard.
Only 4 points tonight for Dante Grantham, coming off 21.
Down 8, no silly fouls here.
Latin blocked by Chete. Reed.
Their legs are going to be popped over the next couple days, so a lot of cold tubs and energy drinks over the next couple days.
Blossom game covering the inbounds from Doolittle. They try to force the turnover. Here's the trap of Doolittle.
Someone's got to make it flash to the ball.
And it's picked off right in front of us.
Basketball, though.
Right at the tail end. I saw Fonz was there. You were there to make the save if need be.
I had his back, man. And as you know, I got yours.
You always do.
If he would have come over the table, I'd have caught him.
Under a minute to go.
Would have had a hernia, but I'd have caught him.
Sooners looking to hang on and close out this game. Almost picked off. Good hands by Grant.
For flashing from the weak side to give the person who's trapped an outlet.
We saw Jordan Woodard really giving Christian James the business. Here's Woodard. Wow, Jordan. 19 for Woodard.
There's plays like that, which is why number 10 needs the ball in his hands.
DeVoe lets the clock stay stopped for just a second as he picks it up right before half. Hey! Steps out and hits the jumper.
Oh, he's open. Kadeem Latt's open in the backcourt if they can see him.
Shot clock is off. The foul's going to go on.
After year, he couldn't come close to making that shot even last year, but has been working on his game.
And he has 21 to lead his team.
Quick strikes here. You don't necessarily need a three.
Reed rolls off the rim. Picks it up. DeVoe for three. No. At the 12:48 mark and has marched all the way back, but still find themselves down 6. Here's Blossomgame for three. No. DeVoe, the rebound, has to get it up in a hurry, and time's going to run out on the Clemson Tigers.
And Rich, Jerron Blossomgame should have shot that ball as soon as he caught hesitation that he took, allowed the defense to challenge it and make a tougher shot.
Here's the home run pass. Latin catches it and wisely just brings it out. Misses.